And that really was a curious question as to writing the book. Well, we have this true existential, the word existential threat gets thrown around way too much in our culture, but this is a true existential, like millions of people are dying. People are getting sick all over the place. Are worried about everyone else. The economy shuts down, crashes, destroys however many $1 trillion of wealth, thousands of businesses, all this other sort of stuff. Like, people are really suffering here at a group level from this. And this was supposed to be our opportunity to rise to the occasion and say, we are going to rise above this. We're going to come together. We're going to do all this other stuff. And it just turned into the nastiness of human nature manifest across the entire world, and particularly in America, who leads the world both in culture and in economics and in a bunch of other different things. And I think that was a big factor in when I was writing everything. I didn't really talk too much about COVID in my book. It's not really, and it's not a political book, I would say, but a lot of people have taken it in political context because identity is so woven into our politics right now, which is very, very interesting. And,
Definitely.
I intended the book to be, I've used this analogy a lot recently. I intended the book to be the baseball that's thrown through a kitchen window. So basically, you take a baseball, you throw it through a kitchen window, glass shards go everywhere, and you have different conversations about different things. And I think I succeeded in that. And not one shard looks the same, not one shard is the same size, same topic, same whatever. And so a lot of people have had very, very different reactions to what I've written. And that's very, very good in my estimation. That's what I wanted to happen, because I think it's more interesting to write about it that way. But I think the question of politics, and I don't talk a lot about politics inside of the book, but the question of politics is a really, really interesting one, because a lot of people have found values through political, cultural issues, social issues, whatever you have in the day, which all got exacerbated during COVID and during the summer of the Black Lives Matter protests and riots, the George Floyd stuff, everything going on, the January 6th stuff, all that other type of, and all those things going on across the world, whether that be in Europe, in the Great Reset, everything else that kind of does everything over there, all that sort of thing. And so it was a very, very interesting time to write a book about identity, because I think the crux of the whole identity issue really kind of apex throughout the last, I would say, 2.5 years or so.
Because that was something I definitely noticed during COVID was how little people wanted to change. Everybody kind of bunkered down into their very preset conditions, their beliefs. And I mean, I used COVID as a time to reset, eliminate some of the bullshit baggage I had on, to actually, to redefine who I was as a person, what I wanted from life, etc. Is that like a main issue with not having these individually set, like a framework of values, not knowing your identities? Because you don't know who you are, you can't make the decisions, and others can shape you and mold you.